Hello and welcome to the fifth lecture of section 3. And yes, it's a lab, launching an EC2 instance. Expected completion time is approx 5 minutes for the actual lab. And the terms I will be using here: instance, virtual machine, VM, virtual server, EC2. All of this means the same and can be used interchangeably. So you have the option, while you launch an instance, you have the option to choose your operating system through AMI, RAM, CPU through instance type, storage space through EBS, and you can configure virtual firewall through security group. So you need to remember AMI, instance type, EBS, security group. All these will be used in this section. And we have already discussed all of them. I know you are waiting eagerly to launch your first EC2 instance. Yes, we will definitely do that in this lecture. But before you go to the actual battle of EC2 instance launch, let me prepare you for the battle in a simulatory environment so that you have somewhat real look and feel of the whole process and steps to launch an EC2 instance. Think of this as a guided tour where I can take the liberty to explain you each step at my own pace in a little more detailed than the actual lab. So after signing in to the AWS console, you land at this page. Here you can simply type EC2 in the search box. You can see this search box over here. And click EC2 and you will go to the EC2 dashboard. This is one of the two ways to reach to EC2 dashboard. The other way to find EC2 and all the other services is to click services menu at the top left. The top yellow arrow, top one, top left. This. If you click this, you land here on this page. Here you get all the services and EC2 is there top left and has been marked with the yellow marker. This page has got a consolidated list of AWS services. Now this is EC2 dashboard. If it's a fresh account, you see everything as 0 except security groups. See, security groups has the count of 1. AWS provides a default security group that is attached to any instance you launch. So even if you do not provide your own security group, that is in the firewall settings, AWS will take care of it. Now on this page, focus on the right top corner. Choose the region of your choice by clicking the drop down. See the top right square. In this screenshot, Ohio has been written. Ohio has been selected. It's better to choose a region which is nearest to your current location. If you choose a region which is not nearest to you, it may take more time than expected to complete your lab due to higher latency. Now, click Launch Instance. So this will take you to a page which may look familiar to you, right? We have seen this screen in EC2 theory. These are built-in templates to get you quickly started with your server creation. You can see a variety of options on this screen. In fact, there are 35 AMIs provided by AWS in Quick Start section. There are other AWS Marketplace marketplaces and community AMIs as well. As a beginner, you need to focus only on AWS Quick Start AMIs, and that too on the free tier eligible ones, provided if you are on a budget. Here we have selected the Windows Server 2016 as it is beginners friendly and free tier eligible as well. So before we proceed to the next page, let us see what I wanted to show you over here. It's the same screen but with a different vertical bar, and it's my AMIs, AWS Marketplace, community AMIs and free tier only. So at the left these options are available, the one which are marked in yellow rectangle. Step 2. This is step 2 of launching an instance. Choose an instance type. If you remember, we have already discussed instance type in details. Instance types are basically about your servers, RAM, CPU and network capacity. Higher capacity, higher price. Just remember that. For our lab demo, we will select t2.micro as it is free tier eligible. So it has been already marked over here. Next, configuration instance details. This is step 3, that is configure instance detail. Here we put a number of instance as 1, that is we want to launch only one instance. Other details also are default on this page. I mean, whatever is there, you should leave it like that. I will just give a brief overview of what are the different tasks of each one of them. The second one, purchasing option, we will keep it default, that is on-demand pricing. The option that is purchasing option, if you put request spot instance, it's you get EC2 compute capacity at a highly reduced rate. It is acquired through bidding process, but this is out of scope for a beginner course. So let us not go for spot instances. We'll go with on-demand instances, on-demand pricing. Now there are other network related configuration on this page. Here's the only entry which you need to understand is VPC, that is virtual private cloud, which is the third one, network. It's written with network. So what is VPC? VPC is your own private network in the AWS cloud. Now remember, there's a default VPC ready for you to use in every region. The default VPC also have default subnets. Just below network you have got subnet. Subnet is sub network. One region can have multiple availability zones. Hope you remember this from our theory lecture. The next is auto assign IP. Keep it default, otherwise public IP will not be assigned for your server. Leave the last two options as none, that is default, whatever is there. Now after configuring the instance details, we will go to storage. Here you are getting a 30 GB storage with your server, for your server, and this 30 GB EBS volume will be attached with your instance. There are other specs as well on this page which you should keep in mind. IOPS, that is 100 by 3000, minimum is 100 and maximum 3000. Encryption, it is not encrypted, so for the purpose of this lab we are not going to encrypt this. And here delete on termination is also there. It has been check marked, that is this volume will be deleted once the instance is terminated. If this is not checked, it means even if the instance is deleted, this volume will remain over there in your account. Next is adding tags. So tags are basically for identification of your server. You can put multiple tags like name, department, environment, etc. See, here it has been identified with my first server. So the name of this server which we are going to create will be my first server. You can put another tag as well. For example, if finance department is going to use this, you can write department, key as department and value as finance. If it's a production environment, you can write key as environment and value as production. Now we are at step 6, and this is one of the most important steps as far as security is concerned. So security groups was already covered in detail in the last lecture. It's the firewall of your server. So you can write any name and description, and then you can add rules. Here you can see HTTP and RDP is allowed. HTTP is allowed on port 80, RDP on port 3389, and source, if you can see source over here, source, they are mentioned as anywhere. It means your server can be accessed from anywhere. This remote desktop also can be accessed from anywhere. If you want to restrict others from accessing your server via RDP, change the source from anywhere to your IP. This drop down has that is available in the drop down. You can select my IP and it will auto populate your IP. But this my IP will work perfectly fine only if you have static IP from your internet provider. Otherwise it keeps on changing. So be careful if you are using this. So finally a review will be the configurations or the settings, whatever you have selected is there for review. So here simply you press launch, and we are here with at a step where we will be selecting or providing our key pair or creating a new key pair. So key pair is the file with .pem extension which will assist you in accessing your server. You need to download this, create and download this, and just remember, don't share this file with anyone, and key pair can be downloaded only once. So if you are not downloading it over here, you cannot access your server, or there is no chance of downloading it later on. So press download key pair. It has been marked with this yellow arrow, and then launch instance. Now this is launch status, that is your instances are now launching. There's a green check mark. Once you are clicking that instance launch, you are here in EC2 dashboard. Here you can see your server which is right now in running status, and status check is initializing. It means the server is getting prepared based on your whatever configuration you have selected. So after a couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, the status check will be green with 2x2 checks. This means that the server launch is complete. So what's next? We have gone through a detailed stepwise process of launching an EC2 instance. Next, we will go through the entire process with live screen capturing, and this time we will make it precise and focus only on the most practical aspects. So browse to the URL aws.amazon.com and sign into your account.